Just allow ourselves to arrive. If we want to come into a comfortable seat, and we're going to bring the hands onto the knees or in the lap, wherever feels comfortable. And just closing your eyes. As you close your eyes, bringing your attention to your breath. And feeling the breath coming into the body. And feeling the breath leaving the body. Just be really curious as you watch the breath. Watching the breath, feeling the breath. Noticing as the breath comes in, how the body responds. And as the breath leaves the body, noticing how your body responds to the exhale. And through watching the breath, you can just allow yourself to arrive in the body. Bringing your awareness into the body through the breath, through the vehicle of the breath. You're staying with that for a few more moments, just watching the breath, and perhaps you notice as you watch the breath, how perhaps you might notice that the breath changes as you observe. There we go. Just got one person coming in there. That's a minute. There we go. Okay, so if you're just arriving, we're just watching the breath just arriving in the body. And then gently opening the eyes. Good. So the theme of the festival this week is air, and in the context of yoga practice, air and breath. It's really about the breath and how the air is entering and leaving the body, and how that's an integral part of the practice. So we're going to just continue an exploration of the territory of the breath. And as you do this, I just want you to, this is not something that you need to make happen or something that you have to try very hard at doing. This is simply an experience. So yoga is an experiential practice. There's not anything you have to do right. We're just going to do a little exercise, and I just want you to go with that exercise and experience whatever you experience in the body. So we're going to bring the hands on to the side ribs. Now, if it feels comfortable to have them, so here's my lower ribs, and I'm going to spread my hands onto the side ribs. You could do it this way if that feels more comfortable. So just choosing a way. And what we're going to do is we're just going to explore breathing into the side ribs. And the idea really is just to explore how much expansion and contraction is available to you without trying too hard. The key is not to try too hard. It's to keep relaxed. It's a little bit more active, so maybe that's 30 or 40% effort. But the key is just to be relaxed and just notice what is available to you. Breathing into the side ribs. And as you breathe out, feeling the ribs moving back towards the center line. So we're just having an experience of breath, an experience of really trying to isolate that breath into the side ribs. without using the shoulders if that's possible. Good. Another couple of rounds just like that, just experiencing, trying to stay relaxed. So breathing in, sideways expansion of the ribs, breathing out, feeling the ribs moving back towards the center line. Good. And we're going to continue that exploration by bringing the fingers onto the collarbones and the palms, which will bring the palms in the upper chest. And now we're going to breathe into the upper chest. So the chest just lifts lightly into the hands. And as you breathe out, I want you just to gently relax. So imagine the chest is dropping away as you breathe out. So breathing in, just noticing what movement is available to you into the hands. And breathing out, relaxing, consciously relaxing the chest, allowing the shoulders to drop down and maybe the throat to relax. Breathing in to the hands, breathing out, relaxing and softening the chest. Lovely. One more breath just like that. Good, and then we're going to bring the hands back to the side ribs. Breathing into the side ribs. And breathing out, feeling the ribs moving back to the center line. Just noticing how that feels in your body, how easy or difficult it is, and how much movement is available to you. Staying with that for another couple of rounds. Good, lovely. And then we're going to release the hands. And just allow the breath to settle for a moment. And just noticing how that feels in the body. And so in this Ashtanga-based practice today, we're going to, the key is synchronization of breath and movement. But I want you not to try too hard with the breath, keeping the breath relaxed. We're going to interlock the fingers. And then we're going to push the palms away. As you push the palms away, I want you just to really round through the back of the body and allow the shoulder blades to move around, and then there's a contraction in the front of the body. There we go. And then now as you breathe in, I want you to imagine the belly coming forwards, the chest coming forwards, reaching up. There's expansion through the front of the body. And then as you exhale, feel the belly contract with the breath and rounding. We're contracting the front of the body, looking in. Inhale, reaching up, belly, chest, expansion, head up. Exhale, belly goes in, the head's dropping, the arms are dropping back down, and then we're going to bring the hands into the chest as you inhale, head up. Exhale, pushing away, we're feeling the movement. Feel the shoulder blades move. So as you bring the hands into the chest, chest into the hands, try and squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. And then exhale, pushing away. And then inhale, as you reach up, try and allow the shoulder blades to lift up so the arms come all the way up. No matter what any yoga teacher tells you, allow the shoulders to come up. And then we can release. We're going to continue just to mobilize the shoulders and the chest. We're going to bring the right arm up. Allow the shoulder to lift up. Feel the shoulder blade lifting up. Forearm, hand goes out to the side. We're going to reach over. And as you breathe in, I want you to breathe in now to the right side of the body. Left hand down, breathe in, feel the expansion in the side ribs. You can look up to the underside of the upper arm. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming up And then we're going to bring the left arm up, reaching up. Shoulders going up. And then right hand out, reaching over to the right. So we're stretching through that left side of the body. Breathe into the ribs, breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming back to the center. Let's just roll the shoulders. So get a feeling as you roll those shoulders. You feel the shoulder blades. Imagine these are your shoulder blades. They're moving around the back. They're moving up and back down and around. So they're moving in a circular movement around the back of the body. Let's bring up the left elbow. Reach the left elbow forward. So you feel perhaps you feel the armpit coming forward. So you see the side of my body moves forward and then across towards the right. And then I'm going to twist. Keep that twist and look over the right shoulder. I can bring my right hand down behind me. Breathing in, breathing out. 1. Keeping the breath soft and relaxed. 2, 3, 4. And 5, and then coming back to the center. And now the right elbow comes forwards, right side of the body, right armpit is moving forwards and then reaching across to the left. Breathing in and breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's just come back to the center, just placing the hands down. Close the eyes for a moment and just breathe. And maybe just noticing how the breath has changed through the movement and through the breathing. Allowing the breath to soften and relax. So as we continue through this practice, we want the breath, you to feel that the breath is moving freely and is not held or forced or tense. So just checking in. I might just cue you to check in as we move. So let's come up to standing. So there's just crossing the legs. If you cross the legs and balance on your sitting bones, let's just move forwards and backwards, just balancing on the sitting bones. You might feel the lower belly begin to engage as you do that. And then the feet are just like this, pointed. And then we're going to take the hands, guide the feet in, lean forwards into the hands, bring the hands forwards. As you bring the hands forwards, push into the floor, lifting the hips up, stepping back to a high plank. Then we're going to lower all the way down to the floor. And then just keeping the hands where they are, we're going to inhale, just lifting the torso. So we've got a cobra, head up, looking up. And then I'm going to look down, I'm going to come up to all fours, tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and coming into that first down dog. If the knees are tight, the back of the legs are tight, just bending the knees. But I also want you just now to lift the heels up individually, one at a time. As you do that, bringing your awareness to the feet and the bones of the feet and the bones in the ankles and the knees and the hips, those bony joints. You might even feel the movement coming into the pelvis and the lower spine. Just moving into the body and feeling the movement in the body. And then stepping the feet forwards, lengthening through the front of the body, softening the knees, and then bringing the head into the legs. And then we're just going to drop the hips. So you're going to bend the knees more, swing the arms forwards and up. And then as you straighten the legs, you can bring the arms up. And finally, you're going to bring the head up. And then bring the hands back down to the side of the body. Good. So hopefully you've got some movement and some heat coming. And let's continue with a few sun salutations. So just gently swinging the arms forwards. I want there to be fluidity and spaciousness in your movement today. So rather rigid and tight. So we're going to swing the arms forwards, which engages the shoulders. So you see my shoulder blade moves forwards. So swing the arms forwards, shoulder blade moves forwards, the armpit is moving forwards, and I'm bringing the arms up. And then I'm looking up. And then as I exhale, I'm going to bend the knees. Looking down, place the hands flat in front of the feet and the head coming in. Inhale, I'm going to lengthen through the front of the body. I'm going to try and keep the hands flat. If it's difficult to get the hands down, take them a little bit further away so you can have the hands flat. And here we're trying to lengthen through the front of the body. If the hamstrings are tight, bending the knees to get that action of lengthening front of the body. And we're just trying to engage the back of the body and pulling on the hands to try and draw the shoulder blades down the back. Just stay there, breathe in, breathe out. And then we're just going to look down between the hands, push the hands into the floor to engage the shoulders and step back to the high plank. Lower all the way down to the floor. And then we can inhale, flatten the feet, inhale, cobra. Or if you really want to do an up dog, doing an up dog, look up. Look down between the hands and we're going to come up into the high plank and back into the down dog. Softening the knees if you need to send the hips back. And I want you to think about the down dog as being a supported handstand. So the arms are really pushing into the floor. And we're really looking to lengthen the spine. There's 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to inhale, stepping the feet forward short of the hands and lengthening through the front of the body. Exhale, feel the belly contract with the exhale, and it kind of helps you draw the head into the legs. And then we're just going to bend the knees, and then as we swing the arms forward, we're inhaling, opening up, expanding through the front of the body, looking up, and exhale the hands down by the sides. Inhales, keep fluidity and softness and space in the movement. Exhale, bending the knees to bring the hands to the floor, then straightening the legs, the head comes in. Inhale, lengthen through the front of the body. Exhale, pushing the hands into the floor, stepping back to the high plank, all the way down to the floor. Inhale, cobra or the up dog, looking up last. Exhale, looking down first. And coming up into a high plank first. And then moving into the down dog. Breathing in. And breathing out. 1. Pushing those hands into the floor again to engage the shoulders. So not hanging out in the shoulders, really stabilizing the shoulders with strength. 4, 5, inhale, stepping, or you could jump the feet forward, short of the hands. Lengthen through the front of the body. Exhale, bringing the head into the legs. And then we're going to bend the knees to drop the hips down, which makes it easier to swing the arms forwards and then open up through the front of the body and look up. Exhale. Take a breath in and a breath out. Breathing in, the arms come up, looking up. Breathing out, bending the knees, hands flat, head in. Breathing in, lengthen through the front of the body, head comes up. Exhale, push your hands into the floor, high plank, all the way down to the floor. Inhale, cobra, head up. Exhale, high plank, down dog. Breathing in, breathing out, keeping the breath relaxed and free.
Try not to hold it, allowing it to move in and out with freedom. Call out 4 and 5. Inhale, stepping the feet forward, short of the hands, lengthen through the front of the body, head up. Exhale the head in, dropping the hips, swinging the arms forward, straightening the legs, coming all the way up, look up. And exhale the hands down by the sides. You're going to take this into a Surya Namaskar, B version. And we're going to start that by looking down first. So whenever we go down in flexion. So looking down where I'm going to go. And I'm going to go all the way down and touch the fingertips down. And then as I inhale, I'm going to swing the arms forward. We're into a Utkatasana, keeping the knees bent. And then exhale, looking down, hands flat, head in. Inhale, lengthen through the front of the body, head up. Exhale, high plank, down to the floor. Inhale, cobra, or the up dog. Exhale, high plank, down dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. And without moving the left foot, we're going to step the right foot forwards, but short of the hands. And we're going to keep that back foot straight. The heel can be off the floor or down if you can reach. And we're coming up into the warrior. Reaching the arms up and then looking up. Let's stay here. Breathe in and breathe out. Bring the hands down to the floor. We're back to a high plank. All the way down to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, high plank. Down dog. Inhale, left side, left foot comes forwards. And even if the heel is off the floor, we're still sending energy into that back heel, which is the right heel, moving down. So we're sending energy through this leg, swinging the arms up. Exhale, breathe in and breathe out, bringing the hands down to the floor, back to the high plank, down to the floor. Inhale, cobra, or the up dog, look up. Exhale, high plank, down dog. Breathing in and breathing out. 1, 2. Remembering this is a supported handstand. So the shoulders go up towards the floor. I'm upside down, but they're moving towards the hands, which helps you lengthen the spine. 4 and 5. Inhale, stepping the feet short of the hands. Lengthen through the front of the body. As we exhale, feel the belly contract as you bring the head in. And then we're going to bend the knees, sitting low, squeeze. Ankles together, knees together, swing the arms up into the Utkatasana, look up. Exhale, straighten the legs. Take a breath in and a breath out. Let's have another breath in. As you breathe out, bending the knees, bring the fingertips down. Inhale, swing the arms up, reaching up, look up. Exhale, hands flat. Head coming into the legs. Inhale, feel the expansion in the front of the body, the head comes up. Exhale, the belly contracts with the exhale, stepping back to the high plank, lowering all the way down. Inhale, cobra, head up. Exhale, high plank, shoulders engaged, down dog. Inhale, stepping the right foot forwards and coming all the way up. Reaching up, warrior, sending that left heel back. Exhale, hands to the floor, high plank. Down to the floor. Inhale, cobra or the up dog. Exhale to the down dog. Inhale, stepping right foot forwards. Left foot forwards. Reaching up left side. And exhale, stay here, breathe in. And breathe out, bringing the hands down to the floor. High plank. Down to the floor, feet flat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, high plank. Down dog. Breathing in. Breathing out. 1. Focus on the breath. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, stepping the feet forward, shorter the hands, lengthen through the front of the body. Head up. Exhale the head into the legs. Bending the knees, sit low. Inhale, swinging the arms up into the Utkatasana, look up. Exhale, straighten the legs, hands down by the sides. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Standing where you are at the front of the mat, we're going to just bend and flex the knees so you get a sense of the softness and springiness in the legs. And as you bend the knees, you can jump the feet apart. And then we're going to come forward and we're going to grab the toes with the first 2 fingers and the thumbs wrapping around the toes. So side on, I've grabbed the toes. And then I'm going to push the toes into the floor and then pull up at the same time and try and lengthen through the front of the body. The head comes up. And by pulling on the toes, I can draw the shoulder blades down the back of the body. That's engaging the muscles underneath the armpit and relaxing the muscles around the neck, particularly the trapezius. And then exhale, we're going to follow the exhale, contracting the belly and bringing the head between the legs. Breathing in, keep drawing the elbows back to keep those armpits working. Breathe into the back of the body, feel the expansion in the back of the body. Breathing out, feeling the contraction in the belly. So there's opposites, expansion and contraction present in the body. Breathe in and breathe out. That's 3, 4, 5, inhale, lengthen through the front of the body. Let's just stay here for a moment. So we're breathing in, feeling the expansion. We're pulling on the toes to draw the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, we're feeling the belly contract. Breathing in, lengthen. Breathe out, feel the contraction of the belly. And then we're going to bend the knees, soften everything. So we can drop the hips down and push through the heels to engage the muscles in the back of the leg to roll up and bring the head up last. Stepping the feet together. And then we're going to step the feet apart to about 1 leg length. So this is about like an equilateral triangle. So this distance is one of my legs from foot to hip. Keep a level of softness. So we're trying not to bring tension into the body. And we're going to turn the right foot out. So pivot the right foot on the right heel and place it down and bend the right knee. And as we do that, I'm going to turn my whole torso towards that right leg. I'm going to take both hands down. We're going to grab hold of the ankle or the shin and just grabbing with that right hand. And as you push down into the foot, straightening through the leg, pushing into that hand to help open and rotate this chest. Then the left elbow comes up, forearm, hand, reaching up. Now let's bring attention to the breath. So as I breathe in, imagine breath coming into the chest. So breathe out, feel the belly contract. Keep the belly engaged as you breathe in now into the chest. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to bring this left hand down, touch the inside of the ankle, bending the knee, pushing and coming up. Feet come square again. You can turn that right foot in a little bit, maybe it's about 5-10 degrees. We're going to turn the left foot out and the whole torso is facing the leg. We're going to bring the left hand down, grabbing hold of the ankle, pushing into the foot, opening the chest, reaching up with the top elbow, bringing the arm up. Now let's bring the attention to the breath. So the breath comes into the chest, breathing out, feel the belly contract and firm. Keep the belly firmed as you breathe into the chest now. Breathe out and try not too hard, but just noticing how you can use the breath to create core stability. 4 and 5, and then the right hand comes down, touching the inside of the left ankle, bending the left knee, and then coming all the way up. Just moving softly between those. So we've just got a little bit of movement, rotational movement in the hips. And we're going to do the reverse Trikonasana. So we're turning the back foot in and the left foot's turning out, and we're turning the whole torso to face the right side, bending the knee, hips are facing forwards. And what I want you to do is to use the elbow to initiate the twist. So as I reach my elbow forwards, that engages this muscle here, which is your latissimus dorsi, which supports the shoulder. But as I bring the shoulder blade forward, it engages that, and the whole torso moves with power as I twist around. So just explore using the elbow to initiate the twist. This is what we're going to do when we go down. Reaching down, hand down to the floor. Keep the left hand on the left waist. You can look up, and then we can reach the top arm up and look up. Breathe in and breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Looking down, bending the knee. Inhale, coming up. If you can't reach down to the floor, you can reach onto the shin. And then we're going to turn around and face the other direction. So now we're facing towards the left, bending the left knee. Let's just explore that movement. Left elbow reaching forwards. So right elbow reaching forwards across to the left. And just feeling that movement and the muscles underneath the armpit working. So let's go down. Feel that elbow, start the rotation, reach down to wherever you can. It might be here or it might be on the floor. And if you get down to the floor, pushing into that, so we really engage this muscle, rotating to the left. Breathing in, breathing out. Hand can be on the waist, or you can bring the arm up, top arm up. 4 and 5, bending the left knee, inhale, coming up to the center. Just a little bit of softness in the hips from side to side. And then we're going to take the feet a little bit further apart. So this is about 1 1/4 leg lengths. So notice I'm keeping the knees nice and soft. And I'm going to turn the right foot out and bend the right knee. I'm going to deliberately turn the torso again to face the thighs. I bring the right elbow down. Now, what I'm going to try and do is push from, imagine I'm going to push from my spine through the shoulder into the elbow. And that helps to open the chest towards me. Bring the top elbow up, which lifts the shoulder up. So we're lifting that left shoulder up, reaching the arm up now. We're making space in the joint. Bring the arm over, looking the underside of the upper arm, breathing in, breathing out. Feel the belly firm and contract with the exhale. Keep it firm as you breathe into the chest. Breathe out. 3, 4, 5. Bringing that top hand down, touch the inside of the right ankle, and then coming up. We're rolling up, so rolling up. So there's fluid movement, spaciousness. We're trying not to be tense. We're only bringing tension into the posture to bring stability. Turning the torso to face the left leg, bending the knee, elbow comes down. And again, we're pushing from the center of the spine into that left elbow to rotate the chest. And then using the right elbow to reach up and make space in that joint. Bring the arm over. Look at the underside of the upper arm. Breathing now into the chest. Breathing out. Feel the belly contract and firm. Keep the belly firm. Breathe into the chest. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Looking down, hand touches the inside of the left ankle, coming all the way up. Softening the hips and the knees, bending and flexing. And then we're going to come into a rotation. So I'm just going to turn to face you guys. So now we're going to turn. And with this, we're doing it in a particular way for a particular purpose. So I'm turning to my right side. I'm going to drop my left knee down to the floor. So come down to the floor. What I want to do is I'm going to deliberately move my right knee towards the left without using the hands. That's going to engage the muscles on the inside of the hips, stretching the muscles on the outside. And I am going to use the left shoulder to bring the whole left arm. And by engaging the muscles under the armpit, I am taking the whole body across. So it might be you only get as far as the elbow, or you might just be able to get the whole shoulder behind the knee, thigh, hands coming into prayer position. Now, as you get that bind, I want you to move the right knee towards the right, but at the same time, you're going to pull the left shoulder back towards the left. So there's a balance of opposing forces. As you do that, you might feel the belly firm and contract. Breathe into the chest. Breathe out into the belly. 1, 2. And if you want to, you can take the back knee off the floor. 3, 4, 5. If the back knee's off the floor, bring it back down. And then coming out with control. And then coming up, we're going to swap sides. Bending. So we're bending the left knee and the right knee's on the floor. Same thing again. Left knee, moving the left knee using the muscles of the inside of the hip towards the left. Sorry, left knee moving towards the right. Right elbow side moving towards the left, tucking behind. And then going to move that knee back against the shoulder. So left knee's moving to the left now. Right shoulder's pulling towards the right. Breathe in to the chest. Breathe out belly, which should also feel contracted. Breathe in. Breathe out. 2. Lift the back leg off the floor. Back knee off the floor, sorry. 4. And 5. Back knee comes down if it needs to. Coming out. Coming back up.
Bringing the legs back in. About one leg length again, as with the Trikonasana. So we've gone from a longer stance to a shorter stance. As we transition into the next posture, which is going to be a wide leg forward bend, we're going to be dropping the hips down and pushing through the heels to activate the back of the leg so we don't overuse the front of the thighs and the knees. So to come into this posture, I want you to bend the hips. So the hips are dropping down, the knees are bending, and you're going to bring the hands down onto the floor. And now we're going to straighten the legs, lengthen through the front of the body, head up. Now let's keep that head up position. Breathing in, lengthen front of the body. Breathing out, feel the belly contract. Keep the belly firmed. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out into that firmed belly. Breathe in, and then breathing out, we're going to follow the contraction and bring the head between the legs. Hands are flat on the floor. Only try and straighten the legs if that's possible for you. But you can keep the knees soft. And we're lengthening the back of the body, contracting the front. So a forward fold is not just a fold or a hinge at the hips, it's also an articulation of all of the other hinges in the spine. So the whole of the spine hinges forwards as well as the hips. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lengthening through the front of the body. We're drawing the shoulder blades down the back, bending the knees, dropping the hips. Let's bring the hands to the waist, and then we're going to push through the heels to roll all the way up. And exhale. Let's just take a breath in and a breath out. Let's swing the arms forwards. As we swing the arms forwards, that's engaged the muscles underneath the shoulders. Now I want you to keep them engaged as you bring the arms wide, palms turned up. Good. Breathe in and breathe out, take the hands to the waist. Notice my knees are still a little bit soft and bent. Breathe in, and then I'm going to keep the hands on the waist. I'm going to bend the knees, drop the hips, and then I'm hinging, hinging through the spine and the hips to bring the torso forwards and dropping the head down. Send the breath in as you inhale, breathe into the back of the body. As you exhale, breathe out into the belly and firm the belly. Keep the belly firmed as you breathe into the back of the body. Just notice the effect that has. We'll call that 3, 4, 5. Bending the knees, push through the heels, roll up through the spine, and exhale. Take another breath in, and exhale. And then we're going to swing the arms forwards again, and take the arms wide. And this time we're going to bend the elbows. Bending the elbows, drawing the elbows back behind us. So we've got the stretch in the front of the chest, and we're going to interlock the fingers behind the back. What we're not going to do is straighten the arms and lock everything up. We're just going to keep the elbows bent. So the forearms and the hands are not going to be part of this. It's going to be really just about me lifting the elbows up to stretch into the shoulders. Breathe in, breathe out. We're going to bend the knees and we're going to roll forward and bring the upper arms towards the floor. The elbows are relaxed, and bent and soft. Breathe in, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Bending the knees, push into the heels, come all the way up and releasing the arms. Swinging the arms forwards again. Open the palms as you bring the arms wide. Bring the hands to the waist. Inhale, feel the expansion through the front of the body, look up. Exhale, bending the knees, dropping the hips, take hold of the big toes. Inhale, lengthening through the front of the body. And we've got the toes, so just stay here for a moment. We can pull on the toes so that as we inhale, we can feel length coming in the front of the body. As you exhale, see if you can just draw those shoulder blades down the back towards the belly. Breathe in, if that makes sense. Breathe out, 2 and 3. Breathing in again, and then breathing out. We're going to contract through the belly and bring the head between the legs. And as the head becomes between the legs, it's dropping down towards the floor, and we're pulling up on those toes still. Breathe in and breathing out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lengthening through the front of the body. Stay here. Exhale, feel the belly contract and firm. Breathe in. Breathe out, bending the knees. The hands come to the waist, dropping the head. Push through the heels and roll all the way up. And exhale. We'll step the feet together. And we're going to come into a standing leg balance. So with this standing leg balance, what I want you to explore is the weight coming into the heels. So one of the things that sometimes happens, we're trying to engage this posterior chain of muscles, which includes the glutes, the bottom here. And to get that working, sometimes if we have the hips too far forward, this turns off completely. So I want you to get a sense of, I'm going to align my hips back so I can still feel the connection in the front of the foot, but I'm shifting the weight into the heel. You should feel the glutes, maybe feel the glutes turning on. So we're going to bring up the right leg first. So we're going to shift the weight into that right heel. Just bend the knee, and then as you straighten the leg, push strongly into that heel. So we've really activated that leg, but without locking the joint out. So this would be a locked joint, and this would be a straight joint. Locked, straight, locked, straight. So locking out means that I'm putting lots of pressure on the end of range of motion of that knee joint. So I'm shifting the weight in, turning it on, weight down through that left heel as I bring the right knee up. So the right knee's coming up. Good. And then you can either hold the knee or you can take the big toe. Left hand comes onto the left waist. And you can stay here, or if you want to, you can straighten the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you can take the leg or the knee out to the side, but just move from the hip. Don't shift. So the knee may only go out 45 or 60 degrees. If it's gone to 90, you've shifted the pelvis around, which has affected your structural stability. 4, 5, the leg or the knee comes back to the center, and we're going to hold the leg or the knee up. Hands on, both hands on the waist. 3, 4, 5. Now lift that knee up, and then bending the standing leg, we're going to bring the foot down to the floor and then straighten the legs. Okay, so we're coming over to the other side. So let's start with the bent knee. So as you shift the weight into the heel, you can activate the leg to push down actively through that heel and bringing your left knee up. And then if you want to, either holding the knee or grabbing the toe. And if you've got the toe, you might want to straighten the leg. 2, 3, 4, 5. Taking the leg or the knee out to the side. 1. If you want to, you can look over the opposite shoulder. 2. Or look forwards or down to the floor. Leg coming back in to the center. Both hands on the waist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to bend. Let's just bend the knee, lift the knee high, bend the standing leg, and slowly bring the leg down. Bend and flex the knees. Weight through the heels. Good. So we're going to do a second standing posture. And same rules apply, but we're just going to bring a little bit of anatomical awareness to the movement of the knee. So very often when we bring the leg into lotus, sometimes we can grab it over the top. But actually when the leg comes into a lotus or even into a tree, there is an external rotation that way that's coming into the lower leg. So if I bring my hands underneath the foot, you might just notice my leg rotates and opens up. So then we get an opening in the medial part of the knee. So we're going to open that joint a little bit to make that easier. So we're going to bring up the right knee and then we're going to swing it in and swing it out as if we're making a figure of 8. Good. Which will just relax the psoas muscle, and then we're going to bring the knee high, close the knee joint, and bring the hands underneath. So really important we close the knee joint, which stabilizes the knee joint, the hands underneath there, and we can just bring the foot down. If that's too much, you can just come to a tree. And then if you have a binding, you can bring the hand onto the inside of the opposite elbow, or you can take the foot. If you do have the foot, you can bend the knee and come down to the floor and bring the head into the knee. So we're going to hold that for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have got the head down, head comes up first, bending the knee. Inhale, come all the way up. And then we can release the knee by releasing the hand, bring the knee up. Foot comes away from the hand, foot comes down to the floor. All trying to do that with control without using too much of the hands. This might feel like more work in the knees, in the hips, in the ankles, but we're working on the renewable sources around the joints. So the stronger the muscles are around the joints, the healthier it is for your joints. Weight now comes into the right heel, left knee comes up. Swing the left knee in and out, figure of 8. And then we're going to bring the knee high, bring the hands underneath the foot, pointing the foot, closing the joint, and then gently opening into the half lotus. Binding inside of the elbow, or the foot, if you've got the foot, bending the knee and coming forwards. Head into the knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bending the knee, inhale, head up, and then coming up. To come out, we're going to lift the knee and pull the foot away from the hand, and then placing the foot down on the floor. And shaking out any cramp you might have acquired. Okay, so coming back to the front of the mat, we're coming into the warrior sequence. Let's take a breath in and a breath out. Breathing in, swinging the arms forwards and up, look up. Exhale, bending the knees, bringing the hands flat, head coming in. Inhale, lengthen through the front of the body. Exhale, the belly contracts, hands pushing into the floor, high plank. All the way down to the floor. Feet flat, inhale, cobra.
Exhale to the high plank, down dog. Breathe in and out, lengthening the spine. And then we're going to step both feet forward, short of the hands. Keep looking down as you bend the knees. Feet are together, knees are together. Squeeze the knees together, and then you're going to swing the arms forwards and up as we come into the Utkatasana. Breathe in, breathe out, holding for 1, 2, push through the heels if you can, 3, 4, 5, bring the hands down to the floor, head in. Inhale, lengthen through the front of the body. Exhale, high plank, down to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Breathe in and breathing out. Warrior sequence. We're going to step the right foot forwards and coming up. Keep the weight going through that heel, even if the back heel is off the floor. Foot is forwards. Swing the arms up and look up between the hands if that works for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Keeping the arms above the head. We're going to turn the posture all the way around so we come on to the left side. Pushing that energy through the back leg into that heel, which does stretch this hip flexor beautifully. Looking up between the hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to transition into the warrior 2. So opening the hips out to the side, palms come up. And then you've got the palms. Imagine that you're pushing down on a ball, the surface of a ball that's pushing up. Good. 1, 2, looking at the hand. 3, 4, 5. I'm going to change that to the right side, bending the right knee. Spine is vertical. 2, 3, 4, 5. The hands come down to the floor. You're going to step the feet back into the high plank, all the way down to the floor, into the cobra or the up dog. Exhale, high plank, down dog. Just enjoy that down dog for a moment. And then we're going to come to sitting. So from the down dog, if you bring your right foot behind your left wrist, and the top of the foot, it can be a little bit back or just behind the wrist, depending on the flexibility of your hips. Bring the other one behind, but keeping the weight forwards in the hands. And as you sit back, sit the hips down, you can uncross the legs and straighten the legs. Good. So we have straight legs. We're going to bring the hands by the side of the hips, not too far back. If the hamstrings are tight, you might just need to bend the knees so that you can really sit up tall and particularly engage this muscle in the back to help you sit tall. So lower back muscle here. Pushing down with the hands. If your hands reach down, you might be one of those people whose hands are above, in which case you can have the hands cupped. Breathing in and breathing out, feel the belly firm. Keep the belly firm as you breathe in. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Softening everything. I'm going to reach forwards. A sequence of forward bends. We're going to start by grabbing the big toes again with the first 2 fingers. And as we do that, we can do it in a very soft, relaxed way. And then before we do anything, I want to pull on the toes.
If I push the toes away, there's a sort of a, toes are pushing this way, which is activating the feet. And I'm going to pull back with the hands. So I'm pulling back with hands, but really I'm pulling back from here. So as I pull back on the toes, it can help me draw the shoulder blades down, which again is stretching and relaxing the trapezius muscle. Lengthen through the front of the body, head up. Let's just stay here for a moment. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the belly contract and firm. Breathe in towards the chest, lengthen through the front. And then this time we're going to breathe out and we're going to curl around the belly, if you like. So there's a space as we bring the head into the knee. So the forward bend is an articulation at the hip and through the spine. Breathing into the back of the body, breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we inhale, lengthening through the front of the body. We're articulating the spine in the opposite direction. So this is a counter pose. Let's breathe in and breathe out. And then we can release the hands. And we're going to take the sides of the feet. If you can't reach the feet, you just need to bend the knees more so that you can. That's really important that we've got hold of that foot. So we're holding the sides of the feet, and again, we're going to inhale, lengthen through the front of the body, and we're going to try and pull the shoulder blades down the back as we lengthen through the front of the body, looking up. Let's stay here. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the belly contract. Keep the belly firm as you breathe in from the belly towards the chest, and then exhale. Belly contracts, head in. Breathe into the back of the body and breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lengthening through the front of the body. And then we're going to release the hands back. So the hands, fingers pointed forwards, about a handspan distance. We're just going to bend the knees for this one. Feet are apart, knees are apart. And what I want you to do first, before you do anything, without locking the arms out, which goes straight, it's like pushes straight into this joint. And we want to stabilize that joint first. So what we want to do is push into the hands without straightening the elbow and lifting the hand to lift the chest. And then we're going to lift the hips up and without locking the arms out. So that's locked out. I've got the elbow still slightly bent. I'm lifting the hips up. I'm squeezing the buttocks, pressing through the heels. 2, 3, 4, 5. To come down, we're going to bend the elbows and bring the hips down and straighten the legs. A little vinyasa. We're going to cross the ankles, pull the feet in, lean into the hands and lift the hips up. Looking down between the hands, lowering the hips down, straightening the legs again. Okay, straight legs here. And we're going to explore some postures with some asymmetrical postures. So you may or may not need a block. If you've got a block, that's handy. Sorry for the dog noise. Okay, so right knee comes up. So lifting your right knee up, I want you to circle the knee. So this direction is an external rotation of your knee, and you'll feel the movement coming from the hip. Notice we're not using the hands, all the movement is coming from the muscles of the hip. And then we're going to place that right foot without using the hands on the inside of the thigh. And we can push that right foot into the thigh. As you push the right foot into the thigh, you might just feel the right hip come forwards. And if I'm activating the left leg, that sends the left hip back. Because if I relax, you might feel yourself start to go that way. Activating, I'm turning the belly forwards. Bring the hands to the foot, lengthen through the front of the body, drawing the shoulder blades down the back, and then exhale, bringing the head into the legs. Breathing into the back of the body. Breathing out, feel that belly contract again, keeping the legs working. Breathe in and breathing out. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're coming into the counter pose, lengthening through the front of the body, drawing the shoulder blades down the back, and release. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to take that left hand, using the elbow to rotate the torso and bring the hand over the right knee. Right hand comes behind you, and we're going to twist and look to the right. Breathing in and breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Got a block, you might not need a block, but you can place one on the inside, the left elbow, and we're going to bring the left elbow down. So again, we're going to rotate the torso. The elbow comes down. When the elbow comes down to the floor of block, push into the elbow to rotate the torso. The hand can stay on the waist as we look over that shoulder. Breathing in and stretch here in that right side of the body. Breathing in, breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming up. And then just feel, you might just feel, the ghost of that movement, the feeling, the effect of that movement in the hips. And we're going to straighten the legs again. Coming to the left side, lifting that left knee up, and we're going to make a circle with the knee for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then placing the left foot on the inside the thigh without using the hands. Again, we're engaging the legs. Yeah, by engaging the legs, the foot's going into here. This is all turning on. Left hip's turning forwards. I'm turning the belly to face the straight leg. If I relax, I have a tendency to go this way. But I'm engaging, I'm countering the asymmetrical nature of the posture. Hands come to the foot. Inhale, lengthening through the front of the body. Really working those muscles in the back, drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Stay there. Breathe out. Feel the belly contract. Breathe in. Expand the chest. Breathing out. Now we're contracting through the front of the body, including the chest, to lengthen in the back. Sending the breath into the back of the body. Exhale, belly. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lengthening through the front of the body. Coming up, we're going to use the right elbow now to twist the body, bring the hand over the knee. And we can pull a little bit on the knee, so that as we pull on the knee, we can start to pull back this way, even as we come around to your left. Breathing in. Left hand is down behind you, looking over the left shoulder. Breathe in, breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you need the block, placing it on the inside, or maybe it's 2 blocks, on the inside of the knee, or if you haven't got a block, you can just place the elbow above the knee. Either way, you're going to push through the elbow to rotate the torso. Right, left hand is on the left waist. Looking over the left shoulder, breathe in. Breathe out, feel that belly contract. Breathe in to the side, expanding the side. Breathe out. 3, 4, and 5, coming up. And then we're going to straighten the legs and do little vinyasa, so crossing the legs, bring the feet in, lean into the hands, lifting the hips up, and lifting the hips back down again and straightening the legs. Good. So let's move into another posture. But this posture might, if you've got a block, might be advisable to sit on a block because it just tips you a little bit further forwards. And I'll show you, we are going to work. This is going to be the posture we're going to work with. So let's bring up the right leg first. And this is the posture. So if you're a bit like this, it sends you back. So if I bring the mat or the block just underneath me. So let's just explore that. Straightening the legs first. Again, this is rather than me taking the hands to move the foot, I'm going to just lean to my side. So I'm leaning to the left side to step the right foot back. And I want to feel that I've got a connection with the right foot down into the floor. Just make sure you've got a gap of about that between the inside of the foot and the opposite thigh. Good, lovely. So if we can explore the movement. So let's bring the hands back behind you. So let's explore some movement in the hips. So again, this is an internal rotation of the hip. And then keeping the foot on the floor, we're going to take the hip out. So there is this movement. So I've got quite a bit of movement, active movement available in my hip should I choose to use it. And I'm going to choose to use it in this posture. So modifications first. Let's just, what we're going to start with, we are going to start with by bringing the hands to the shin and pulling and sitting really tall as you turn the legs on. So we're pushing this foot down, so this leg is pushing into the floor, and the straight leg is as if I'm standing on the floor. So I'm turning everything on to really sit tall and pull on the shin to help you do that and sit. So we've got an extension of the spine, engaging the muscles in the back of the body and breathing into the chest. So keeping the breath relaxed while you're doing all this work, you can keep the breath relaxed. Good. So for some of you, you might want to stay there. Otherwise, we're just going to let that knee drop a little bit out to the side. If I turn forwards, and I'm going to come forwards. Just seeing where I can come forwards. And as I do that, I'm going to pull the knee in. So there's that internal rotation. So I'm going to pull that right knee so it's tucking into the side of the chest. Lovely. And then we can maybe just stay here, or if you feel you can, you might feel you can just take the arm around the back. The right arm's around the back, and now I can take the left hand all the way around to bind. If you can't do that, just stay here. If you have got the bind, then you can lift and lengthen the chest. And then exhale, we're going to bring, whatever we do, we're going to bring the head into the knee. Breathing in, breathing out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, the head comes up. And exhale, we're going to release the leg, open the hip up and come up. And straightening the leg. Coming to the other side. So again, we're going to step the foot up. That much distance to the inside of the foot and the thigh. And again, we're just going to bring the hands back behind us and explore the movement that's available. Internal, external, internal, external, internal and external. And we're going to go external. Well, we're going to start with the sitting tall first. Jumping ahead of myself, taking hold of the shin, turning the legs on and sitting tall to engage the muscles in the lower back. Chest is nice and open, shoulders dropping down, using the hands maybe to pull the shoulders down. Again, we can really use the arms and the action of the hands to engage the muscles underneath the shoulders, draw the shoulders down and relax and stretch this trapezius. And then we can release. That goes out to the side and then reaching forwards. Reaching forwards and then bringing, pushing into that foot to bring the knee into the side of the body. That might be enough there. Otherwise, you can take reverse fold the left hand behind the back and take the right hand around. If you're there, lengthen through the front of the body. And if you've got to there, exhale. We're all going to curl the head forwards and come forwards. Unless you're staying here. So choosing a variation and just working that knee into the side of the body, if that works for you. Breathe into the back of the body, breathe out into the belly. There's 3, 4, and 5, and then coming up, straightening the legs. Let's take ourselves down off the block, crossing the legs, lean into the hands, lifting the hips up, and lifting the hips down, straightening the legs. Let's just do a nice forward bend, so taking hold of the feet, lengthen through the front of the body. Exhale, contracting the head into the legs. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lengthen through the front of the body. And then we're going to bend the knees and bring the knees up, roughly 90 degrees. So what we're going to do here, we're going to explore this posture, which is called Navasana. So I'm going to come side on. So one of the things people often complain lower back. So what we're trying to do is to really engage the lower belly to support the lower back. And we can do that by coming, if we pull ourselves into a ball to start with, and breathe out and engage that belly. We've been talking about belly. So as I breathe out, the belly firms and contracts. And if we can keep that firmed and contracted whilst we're also working the legs straight, we're going to find that stabilization. So let's bend the knees, hug everything in. Let's breathe in, breathe out, feel the belly firm and contract. And then even as you open up, you know, keep that belly firm, breathe in, breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to cross the legs, lean forwards into the hands, lift the hips up, lift the hips down, curling in again. Really hug the knees in, breathe in and breathing out. Feel that belly contract. Keep that contracted and open up for 1, 2, 3, 4, it could be that, and 5, crossing the legs, lean into the hands, lifting up, lifting down, and we're going to do one more. So exhale, engage the belly, inhale, open up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lean forward, cross the ankles, lean into the hands, lift up, lift down. And then we're going to come down to the floor. So feet flattening, knees bent,
And lying down on the floor and relaxing everything. Just let everything go, letting the breath settle and relax. So we're down here, we're just going to do a little bit of bridge work. So just bring the heels a little bit reasonably close in, not too close. The action I want you to think about is to push into the heels. So push down through the heels when we come up, because if I push through the heels, as we may have found or you may have experienced today, is that it turns on the muscles here at the back of the leg, all the way up to the glutes. So I want you to feel, by pushing through the heels, that you can almost engage or clench your buttocks and as you come up, because that's going to support the back. The other part we're going to do is we're just going to hug the elbows down towards the feet and then press the elbows and the back of the arm, the upper arm, into the floor. As you press the back of the arm into the floor, you might feel you can lift the spine away from the floor. Push a little bit into the back of the head, just lift, maybe feeling that you're lifting the base of the neck away from the floor, and then we push through the heels, lift the hips up. Just as high as feels comfortable, pushing through the backs of the arms, through the heels, engaging the buttocks. 1 and 2, keeping the breath nice and soft. 3, 4, and 5. We're going to roll the back down to the floor and relax everything. Let's bring the knees into the chest, head into the knees. Bringing the head down and releasing the feet back down to the floor. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So you can reach the elbows up and then hug them down towards the feet. And you're pushing them into the floor, and the backs of the arms and the shoulders into the floor. The spine is lifting away from the floor, pressing through the heels, gauging the buttocks, lifting the hips up for 1. Staying relaxed. 2, 3, really important, those buttocks working. 4, you might feel the hamstrings working. And 5, and then we're going to release the back down to the floor. Good. Relaxing everything. Then we're going to bring the knees into the chest, head into the knees. Then we're going to bring the head down and the feet back down to the floor. Let's try reaching the arms up. So this is a little bit of shoulder mobilization stuff. So my shoulders can be on the floor, my shoulder blade can be on the floor, but if I can lengthen, if I reach up, that's my shoulder joint moving away from the floor, and my whole shoulder blade is lifted away from the floor. And you can see, hopefully, how much longer my right arm is than my left arm. And then bringing it down and then reaching up through the other side. So really reaching up with one shoulder and another, just noticing how much or how little movement is available to you. Let's take the hands back to 45, and then we're going to do the same thing, reaching up and back this time. Lovely. And then let's bring the arms back down again. We're going to do one more bridge. So hugging the elbows down towards the feet, pressing into the elbows, into the backs of the arms, through the heels, lifting the hips up, engaging the buttocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, rolling the back down to the floor. Relaxing everything. Good. And then let's just move the feet a little bit further away, and then we're going to bring the hands onto the belly. And just feeling the natural movement of the breath into the belly. So we're not actively breathing into the belly, but the abdomen naturally moves with the breath. So really just tuning into the movement of the breath, lifting the hands up, and then as you breathe out, feeling the breath dropping down into the earth, and the hands following. So we're just really beginning to quieten now. Really tuning into the movement of the breath in the belly without effort. And noticing as you watch that how the breath softens. As the breath softens, your system is quietening down. And maybe the body is softening. So really tuning into that feeling of the breath, of the air coming into and out of the body. Noticing how that feels in your body. Maybe noticing how that changes as you watch, as you continue to observe. And then gently straightening the legs. Keeping the knees bent if you prefer, but you can straighten the legs. And you can release the hands to the floor, so the backs of the hands are on the floor with the palms facing up. And then bringing your awareness from the breath into the contact of your body with the floor. Feeling the contact of the back of your head with the floor. The backs of the shoulders with the floor. The backs of the arms. The backs of the hands. The buttocks. The backs of the legs. The calves. The heels. And now feeling the contact of the whole of the back of your body with the floor. The whole of your body supported by the floor. And then bringing your awareness gently back towards the breath. And taking a deeper breath in and a long, fine breath out. Breathing in again and then sending the energy of the breath into the fingers and moving the fingers and then the toes. And as you continue to breathe, moving the hands and the feet and the wrists and the ankles, the arms and the legs. And then very gently bringing the knees into the chest, finding a movement that feels nice. It could be a circular movement, up and down, side to side, or no movement. Just massaging your back. And then gently rolling onto your side. Take a few moments there before coming up to sitting. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. It has been my pleasure to share my practice with you. Thank you very much. I'll be around for a few moments if anybody has any questions. You would need to